Hello, hello. Thanks so much for being here. Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new here, because again, this is a new channel, my name is Rachel, and along with my family, we run Hawkins Homestead Farm. Today, I'm going to be cooking a roast. This is one of the days that I cook during the week, but don't get it twisted because I am not one of those moms or wives who cook every single day because I believe in equal opportunity for everyone. But today we're going to be cooking just a really quick roast. Well, it's not going to be too quick, but now we do not have any cows on the farm. We don't raise cows. We do raise chickens, turkeys, pigs, but no cows. But we do support local farmers who do. So I've got an eye of round roast that I'm going to go ahead and prepare in the oven with some onions and potatoes and carrots from the garden. So follow along as I go ahead and put this farm to table meal together, and thanks you guys so much for being here. Okay, so if this is your first time here, you may or may not know that our house is under a remodel. And so what you will see is that we've got temporary countertops. I've actually got you guys on a wooden countertop on this side, but over here on this side where you see this yellow tote top, it is here because this is a cabinet that was built out that has an open drawer. And so I don't want anything to happen to the drawer because it's so close to the stove. And so this tote top fit here perfectly. And so I just put it right there. So that's where it is. So like I was saying in the intro, we're making a eye of round roast, and that's what you see here. Again, we do not raise cows, but we do support other local farmers who do. I initially was going to start it in this shallow baking dish, but then I quickly realized that that wasn't enough space in there, so I switched it over to this one. And so I've already chopped the onions. I've already prepared, washed, in some cases prepped a lot of these vegetables. Now some of the potatoes that you see, the bugs got to them before we could get to them. So you will notice that some of them are kind of cut in a couple of different places, like this purple one. But that's just me removing the bad parts. But for the rest of everything else, already been washed up and everything. And so when I make a roast, I really just like to do it all in one dish. A lot of times I'll use the slow cooker. I'm just gonna throw this in the oven, put a top over it, and let it do its thing because we just don't have time to slow cook it today. So in the end, it should still turn out pretty moist, pretty tender, but we're gonna give it a little bit of help in doing that by spraying it down with some nice fat avocado oil. And so if you guys are making any type of beef where you're going to put it in the oven, maybe you don't do that because it does make its own juices, its own fat, but I do like to help it out a little bit when I have to cook it on a little bit of higher heat because I just don't have a lot of time. So you will find that that's what I'm going to do today. So I have some more, it's currently June of 2025, and I've got carrots in the ground still. Now, I've been steadily trying to get them out because a lot of them are going to seed, but what's actually happening is that the ground is hard where they are, and so it's getting increasingly harder for me to get them out. And what's happening is tops are breaking off, and then I'm having to literally go in and dig the carrots out. But we grow just about everything under a weed barrier, and so I could pull up the weed barrier, but that's also the same row that I have things like my cucumbers and all in, and so I want to make sure that I'm not damaging any cucumbers or losing any crops. So I'm literally having to dig these out to make sure that I can get the carrots used, but that I'm not damaging any of the other crops. So some of the carrots have been split down the middle because they were just in the ground for so long. Again, some of them are going to seed, but you know, we're going to use what we have. And you will notice if you've watched any of my other videos where I've been posting the food is, you know, we grow organically. I grew all these vegetables, so I am not going to peel them unless they're just, you know, unless I just have to. But I really, really try not to peel any vegetables unless it's absolutely necessary. So even if I'm cooking like squash or whatever the case may be, like I'm trying to get all of that goodness in there as well. And I do give them a really good washing, so make sure we're not eating any dirt or any grime. And a lot of times I will soak them as well to make sure that we've got all the nasty from the farm out of there. So I don't know what you do at your house, but that's what I do here. Now, if it's not potato season and I do have store-bought potatoes, I am most likely going to peel those because I didn't grow those. I don't know how they were grown. You know, it probably wasn't organic, or as organic as I like it to be, because even though I try to buy most things organic, you never know. You never know where those things come from. And so I trust myself and I trust the farmers that I know that live around me. But you know, when you get something from the grocery store, who knows where they grew that stuff at? So I trust me. And of course, this is literally a one pot wonder, or in this case, a one pan wonder. So everything gets in here together. I'm gonna give it a good spray, and I'm gonna season it up, and then I'm gonna cover it with a cookie sheet. Now, I know a lot of people like to use aluminum foil, and I'm not anti-aluminum foil, but you know, if I can just throw a cookie sheet over it, then that's what I'll do as well. So let me know in the comments, you guys, if this is something that you do when you go ahead and make a roast. Or even, do you even make a roast in the summertime, or do you feel like that's a fall food and you are just not about that life? If that's the case, that's fine too. You know, everyone's different. Everyone has their own household. You're entitled to, you know, make and eat whatever you like. And so for me, you know, if I've got it in the refrigerator and it's something that I can cook and use, I don't really care if it's summertime or not. I'll put the fans on, you know, I'll turn the air down so that it's cooler. I'll do whatever I need to do so that, you know, we can be able to use the food that we have and not go to the grocery store. That would be so great. So that's what you're seeing me doing here. Oh, this has a couple more spots in it. That I guess I missed, that I don't too much like. So I'm just gonna cut those little back pieces out. And these will not go to the animals because pigs can't have raw potatoes. So they'll just go into the trash. Back with my avocado spray, and I like to use this one from Chosen Foods, 100% pure avocado spray. And so what I'm gonna do is just, oh, this one might be empty. Oh no, I still got a little bit in there. Everything with this spray. Are you making cookies? Yeah? Huh? Joshua is our resident baker, and he makes cookies. They're really delicious. And we do ship them as well, so that one was just about gone. Now it's gone, so I'm gonna move on to the next one. Sometimes you gotta get your hands dirty and get in there and do what needs to be done. Good healthy fats for this beautiful meal that we're having here. Let me wash my hands and then we'll move on to the seasoning portion. I have my hands all washed up, cleaned up. Yay. Alrighty, and so gotta have some salt in there. And this is Himalayan pink salt. Pink Himalayan salt we're adding. It's like a lot, but I promise you it's not. Add some of that up in there. And we're gonna do some all-purpose seasoning from Tabitha Brown. If you guys have watched any of my other videos, you do know that this seasoning is being pulled. She's no longer continuing to make these. And so, if this is one that you'd like to try, I would say go look for it. They do have it at Walmart. I happen to get, I think this is the original one that I bought from Target in the very, very beginning, but these seasonings are the bomb. And then we've got this very good garlic one, and then she has another one that's called like sweet, like smoky. And I've used that one on chicken and when I attempted to make carrot bacon. Ooh, I wish you could smell it. Ooh, it smells so good. Oh my gosh, it smells good. And yes, there are onions in there, but I'm also going to use some onion powder as well in there. Some umami. And I got this one at Trader Joe's. Then I'm just gonna mix all the vegetables up real nicely. And yes, I will only be seasoning one side of the meat. All right, just a moment. I was looking for my lean parents, but apparently I don't have any. Let me check my pantry just to make sure that I don't have any. I'll be right back. All right, so it looks like I don't have any, so I'm just gonna add some water to this to give it a little bit of a broth at the bottom as the vegetables and everything begin to cook. There we go. So it's not a lot of water in there, just enough so that the vegetables will have a nice broth that they can cook down in. And what I would normally do is put some lamb parents in there, but I don't have any. And so I'm just going to top this off very lightly with some of this Mrs. Dash to give a little bit of herbs at the top, because this is Mrs. Dash garlic and herbs. And I know that it's a salt-free seasoning, and I did add salt to it, but you know, that's how I like to eat it. So no lamb parents, but this should cook down really, really nicely and have a beautiful flavor profile. So I'm gonna put this in the oven. We do like our meats to be well done in this household, so I'm gonna put this in the oven probably a good hour, and then we'll check it after that. Very important step is the cleanup. Just got that in the oven. We're just gonna get everything nice and cleaned up. And again, that is a one pot wonder or one pot meal. In this case, a one pan meal. So get everything nice and cleaned up. Alrighty, so it was cooking about an hour and a half, and I just took it out of the oven. It's been resting about 15 minutes. So So I'm gonna let you guys take a quick look at it. I did go ahead and cut it up, cut up the roast between when I took it out a little bit earlier, just because I wanted it to tenderize a little bit more. So I cut it up and stuck it down into the juices. And so you'll probably see that portion sped up, but it's done. So let's go ahead and take a look. Alrighty, and so there we go. As you can see, there is some juice still down there at the bottom, but everything is nice and tender. Looks delicious. Carrots are all the way cooked. Potatoes are already cooked. Meat is nice and tender. So let's try it. It is still hot. It's only been out of the oven just a few minutes, but oh, let's try it. Let's not get burned, but let's try it. Those carrots are really good. Try potato. That is so good as well. Let's go ahead and try the meat. Tender, delicious, so good. I'm gonna be honest and say that if I would have had the Lee & Perrins, that would have just set it off the top. Set it off, it would have been a little bit better, but delicious farm to table meal. So tonight we made a roast using potatoes, carrots, and onions from the garden. And thank you for watching. I hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.